I think I finally have everything to start working on this. It's been months of collecting parts, the engine stand, getting this case from the shop, the old case that I figured out is garbage, a bunch of parts with these things that I hate because they get static and stick to everything. The other half of the case, those are old, I won't use them. This is balanced, I picked it up yesterday, and I also picked it up with this old pressure plate that I can reuse, new clutch disc, and these ones that the shop balanced all together. So it was the same price to get the crank assembly balanced as to get all these and the connecting rods balanced as well, so I did everything together. I got this little Berg cow magnet, and this is my camshaft and cam bearings, so I think I'm ready to go. I made one mistake, which was ordering those studs on 10 millimeters, so I had to send them back to California and get the 8mm ones that are buried under those weird things, and then the pulley, because my old one was garbage according to the shop. So I got this kit that has a sand seal and the pulley nut, so it looks pretty good. And this for the full flow setup. New engine firewall and another one of these, because after breaking in the engine I will change the filter and run a new one. So now I have two filters because I know the first one will get gummed up with assembly lube and white grease or whatever, so good to have a second one. The first thing I want to put together is the camshaft. Got this kit also from CV. The kit I got is the one with these wavy washers and just regular bolts. And I don't think this is the one that allows you to change the angle in the camshaft. There's only one way to put it in. This is the one they told me fits with my oil pump, and I've never done this before, so everything I do will be hit or miss and just see how it goes. But I'm going to drop in the camshaft as it is, and I won't do anything with the degrees or the true top dead center or anything like that for the moment. If I realize later on that's a big mistake, I'll start over. And for now I'm just setting it up without Loctite, just dropping it in and mocking up the engine to see if everything fits and nothing rubs, and then I can Loctite everything. So for the moment I'll just put it together and look at it. Just keeping this in the bag for now because it's all oiled and I don't want it to rust. And going by the book, if I remember correctly, this dot has to line up with this one and with that one, so it goes like that. So the line in the middle points to this dot. And I'm sure there's a torque setting for this, but I'm not even checking that yet. I'm just mocking everything up and putting it on finger tight. So there's the camshaft. My main concern with this one is whether the heads of these bolts will rub against the oil pump or not, so that's what I'm getting at here, just why I'm mocking it and doing a test fit with the gear that's in the crankshaft and making sure everything spins, and then I'll bolt it together. These cam bearing saddles over here still have the VW marks, so they've never been cut. I know they can be cut, but it's rare, so mine is still original. And I guess it's a good thing because I ordered the standard cam bearings, so I'm just going to drop them in and see if they fit. It's a good thing they all have this little tab, so I guess you can't mess it up. There's only one way to put them in, I would assume. Goes in there. And the hole for the oil to pass in. Yep, great. And this one's wrong. So this one is directional. And the guy with I bought the camshaft from told me I would have to grind it out probably, so that's what I'm doing now. That's the reason I'm doing this first. I want to check if this bearing has a little bit of play before I put it in. I have to rock the camshaft back and forth, and I'm doing a test fit. This is what I was trying to test with the camshaft. I dropped it in and it wouldn't fit the thrust bearing, and it actually got stuck to it and came off with it, and now let's see how hard it is. So yep, I need to grind that one down a lot. So this is ready to go. I have the shaft in there with its 2 washers already in, and I'm supposed to check play on this, but it's really hard. It barely went in there, so I'll try to push it a bit more and see what happens. Right, finally. That's too much play. I need more shims. I have 4 shims in there, and that comes out to 1.5 millimeters. I don't know if there's any advantage in running this one with the grooves or that one, but it looks pretty crunchy, so I'll replace it anyway to avoid any leaks and maybe get 0.1% more heat dissipation. The good thing about running this new one, I just realized, is it comes with self-locking nuts and fresh washers, so that's great. I fully messed up trying to torque these down to 18 foot-pounds by holding the teeth. These are super sharp. I cut my hand, so I'm dripping blood on it. And I'm taking them out so I can clean the Loctite fast before it dries up. I'll clean the threads really nice, and I think I'll put this in with this in order to be able to torque it down properly, because this method I tried is clearly wrong. This stuff is still wet and cleaning off pretty nicely, and after wiping it down I will dip them in acetone for a while, and I'll put them, I cleaned those out too, the female end. I'll put it in a container with acetone like this, very shallow, just to make sure I can dissolve anything in there that might remain, but it doesn't look bad at all. I don't think there's much Permatex in there. I didn't know if my case had the plugs stuck in these holes, the oil relief holes, and looking in the hole with the flashlight is impossible to tell whether it's in there or not, so I bought a little magnet, and I'm glad I did, because this one got stuck, so there's something in there, and I know it won't stick to the case. So that's how I'm able to tell if there's one in there before I send a thread or something to pull it out. Okay, so I used a 12mm thread, and only with finger pressure I was able to tap into it and pull it out. So that was very simple. And now I can see what the hole looks like without the plug, even though on video you can't really see anything. So that's how you pull that one out.